Starting the stream now.
No, hello world.
Okay, we're streaming.
It better. We're going.
Okay, good. And there is sound. I just checked on the
My
stream itself.
my sounds good. Your sounds good. We're all good.
All set. So sorry, people, whoever watched this last time. There was no audio. I was just explaining to Dante. It was the streaming software that I have. I didn't have the microphone linked with it in the settings. So yeah, it didn't pick up any of the sound. We got some dislikes on the video,
Yeah, we did.
unfortunately.
Did you delete it? Did you delete it?
No, I haven't deleted it quite yet. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should go and delete it.
I'll probably delete it, yeah. But I like the
Yeah.
views though. We got a lot of views. It was like the first time we
Yeah. So
got.
I know. So it's like there's potential there.
There's potential, man. Serious potential. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
the facial hair or if it was the Mandela effect. I'm not sure which one.
I, I think it was the Mandela effect.
What? Oh, dude, come on.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it was the Mandela effect. Um,
So,
we
would
have
you like to explain?
you trying to make this video quick again, aren't you?
No,
I
no.
can I can tell you're like trying to speed it up already.
No, the people don't know.
This is live streaming though, so people are supposed to watch it, you know, while it's streaming.
Who's on? Who's on right now?
I don't know if anybody's on. We got one person watching.
Oh,
That
okay,
I
is
don't know
that
if I don't know if that's actually just myself like on it.
it probably is.
Probably yeah, it's probably just myself logged into it.
What was the other guy? I think he's Magic Mike or something like that.
I'm not sure. I don't think it was Magic Mike.
I,
I feel like I
I
would have
thought it was.
remembered that, but yeah, we did have one guy who liked our videos. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen him again. Anyways, so we're here to talk about the Mandela effect. That's what we talked about in the last video,
Mhm.
and I guess we wanted to just go through some of the Mandela effects to anyone who hasn't heard of it or seen it
Experience.
before on the internet. It's kind of a popular thing right now, and a lot of people are discovering the truth of it. And so, what it is basically experiencing uh, something in this reality that's different from what you remember it as. And there's a lot of examples of this. The reason it's called a Mandela effect is because of Nelson Mandela. A lot of people recall him dying uh, back when he was in prison. They have vivid recollections of him dying in prison and watching the entire funeral on TV and the whole service and all that stuff. And this is not just like one or two people. This is thousands of people who remember this vividly. And but as we know it in this reality, he died in 2013.
Yeah.
So that's the Mandela effect. It's recalling it and remembering it very vividly, a different way of what it is now.
Mhm.
And we have many more of them that are very prominent. One of the biggest ones that shocks people, I think, is the Snow White. The what the witch, is it the witch who says it?
Yeah, it's the witch. Mhm.
The witch who says in the mirror. Most people remember it. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, or something like that. But
Mhm.
if you go and look at it now, I think she says it's either like the slave in the magic mirror or it's just magic
No,
mirror.
she just says magic mirror on the wall.
Yeah, magic mirror on the wall, which
Mhm.
to most people when they hear that, it just sounds totally off. And they're
Mhm.
like, "Huh? Magic mirror? I've never heard of that." And it's funny because people's like first reaction is to dismiss it. They're like to dismiss their memory, like to just go, I must have just haven't seen it in a long time. I must have misremembered it. But
Hmm.
then you go through another, a couple of the other big ones, and then they start to go, okay, this is kind of weird. Well, I think you get a couple reactions. You get some people who start to really realize that this is a big deal, and you get other people who just completely dismiss it and don't want to really pay any attention to it.
So with the mirror on the wall, I've actually I did a little bit more digging, and they said that it does say in the old books, magic mirror on the wall. It was the fairest of them all. So in the books, it does say that, but in the movie, it does say well, it says no. I'm sorry. In the books, it says mirror on the wall. In the movies, it says magic mirror on the wall.
But
So
how do you know the movies said magic mirror though?
because the movie because it does say it right now. It says it right now.
Well, yeah, but that's the Mandela effect. This is the new reality. But most people, like, I never read the book. Most people never
Right,
read the book.
right, exactly. So people remember it mirror on the wall. And my theory, and I think other people have talked about this too, is that what happens is you have two choices. So there's one choice to either write mirror on the wall, and then to put that in the movie, and we remember it mirror on the wall, or you have like this other small reality that they chose to take the mirror and replace it with magic. So then now this reality that we live in, choice to replace it and put it in magic mirror. Same thing with Bragg's. So there's probably a reality where it's like how like they make two decisions. It's like you either make one decision to go left or you make another decision to go right. And in some instances, what happens is we remember one choice that someone made, and then we're living in another choice, and the choice that the other choice that they didn't make in our own memory. Does that make sense?
It's a little confusing.
Okay, okay, okay.
So you're
This
saying
okay.
like they're all the Mandela effects are choices? Like, what are you
Yes,
saying?
yes, exactly. So okay, let's say today you wake up and you say I'm gonna have an apple. Okay, and then or you said I'm gonna have either an apple or a pear. So let's say in this reality you make the choice to have an apple, but you see what I'm saying? So
Hang on,
there's
no, no, no.
so there's
You just glitched out. Um,
oh,
you
oh
glitched out
sorry.
right after you said in this reality you chose an apple, and then it stopped.
Oh, okay. And then in the other reality you chose a pear.
But what? Okay, but what other reality? I mean, what do you?
So there's like multiple realities where the realities splits into many because people make because there's choices because the thing with realities that the thing that creates realities is our choices. So our choices is what creates the reality that we live in. So what happens is that you have multiple realities because we have multiple options. And let's say one person made a slight choice to say, um, you know, mirror on the wall, to put that in the movie, and we live it, and we remember it that way. And then in this reality that we're living in, the choice was to replace mirror and to change it to magic. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Remember the "We Are the Champions"
Yeah.
the one you were telling me about.
Hmm.
And then I looked at the lyrics, and it says, at the end, we remember of the world. We remember of the world. But
Right.
if you go back, of course, then it doesn't say that. It just blanks out.
Right.
But if you look at the lyrics, it does like at like we say we are the champions, they do say of the world in the lyrics.
What?
But it, yeah, they say of the world in the lyrics, but as the song plays, but we remember it of the world at the end, and then the music stops.
No. Hang on.
Yeah,
Wait.
look at the lyrics, and you'll see that they say of the world somewhere in there.
No, the well, yeah, they say it. Yeah, they say of the world in the song. That's not what it's.
Right,
That's
exactly.
not what it's talking about. It's people remember it saying it at the very
Yes,
end of the song.
I know. So I know that. So my theory is that what we remember is they decided to say of the world at the end. And what it is now is that they made the choice not to put that in it.
Who made the choice? Queen?
The songwriters, the people who wrote the song.
I don't know, dude.
So so it's like, so there's choices, or even Jiffy. So the Jiffy and the Jif.
Hmm.
So they we remember them at Jiffy, and then in this reality it's just Jif. In the
Right.
reality in the reality that we remember, they made the choice to put the Y. And in
Right.
this reality, we're living in the choice that they made to not put the Y and just put Jif.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So it's like, do you see what I'm saying? It's like, do you kind of get me?
kind of, but I mean, where does that like? I'm not sure what that does for it. Like thinking that they're all choices. Because I mean, you look at, I look at the whole Mandela effect as like just more evidence that we're living in illusion, that we're living in like a false reality, where it's not permanent, it doesn't stay the same, it's all kind of just made up.
Right. And the reason is because of choice, or the illusion of choice. Even the illusion of choices is an illusion in of itself. And that maybe we are trying to go, our whole reality is trying to like fix itself to get to a more perfect or defined reality or something like that. But it takes multiple choices for us to get to that, or get to more perfection, or whatever you want to call it. um do you follow me there?
I mean, kind of. The whole choices thing. I mean, I guess
you've
it.
heard of like the
Huh?
you've heard of the illusion of choice, is that
Yeah,
our
of
choices,
course.
right? So even with that, like, yeah, like I agree with you with the
But
illusion thing, and
isn't
these things are permanent.
illusion of choice says that that isn't that theory all about how choosing is like we don't actually choose, and it's choosing is an illusion, it's all mapped out already. isn't that
Yeah,
isn't
it's
that just like in the same belief as like fate, as it's all mapped, it's all already planned out, so we don't actually choose anything.
yeah, it's kind of like, I would probably say in the direction of, obviously you know that, choosing either Republican or Democrat is an illusion of choice. That's kind of
Right,
that
because
that's because they're both
there it doesn't matter which one you choose, they're all part of the same system, corrupt system
right,
and whatnot.
exactly. So right, exactly. So if you kind of almost go beyond that, is that I would probably say there's probably a reality where we are, where the whole world is probably destroyed for, like, I don't know, somehow, some way. And we as a consciousness has whatever experienced that.
Mm.
And then there's another reality where the world is entirely perfect, where we don't have war, famine, poverty, things like that. Whole consciousness of us, we can experience that as well too. Um,
Okay, I get to what you're saying. So
yeah,
um, basically, Mandela effect is it's probably being done or it's happening to show humanity and show our species that we can co-create together, that we can create our reality by the choices that we make as a group,
yes,
so that eventually we start together co-creating a harmonious kind of utopia just through
yes,
our all of our choices.
yeah, in our thoughts.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was kind of thinking like, how can this Mandela effect be can be used in our line of changing the world, of collective consciousness, things like that. And I was like, oh, maybe this is what the effect is showing.
But that is just
So
theory, right? I mean, we don't know that's
right,
why it's
yeah,
happening. It could be not from a choice at all. It could be just something shifted, like it could just be just our realities completely shifted and we were thrown into this other reality
right,
to show us that none of this is permanent, that all of this is illusory, which
yeah,
I kind of like that theory as well.
hmm,
Um, but I like the choices one too. That's very interesting, and I hadn't thought about it like that. Um,
yeah, yeah,
very interesting. That yeah, it very
yeah.
well could be that.
Because I was thinking too, how can we take this Mandela effect and this, what's happening and what we're seeing? How can we use that to our benefit too? Because obviously, you and I and others, we want to, make an impact in the world and change things,
Right.
and move into that direction. So I feel like it's it can be a bit more empowering, and we're able to really make change if we think of it like constructively, or if we're able to like have like this power, like this can be empowering, this
Mm.
effect, this Mandela effect can be empowering for us, and
Yeah.
that it makes us like hopeful, and like thoughts are things, and we can focus on what we want, and this like, again, this is more theory, but this could be not this could show that, yeah, our thoughts can change reality based
Yeah.
off of choice.
Very interesting. Where? How did you? You must
I
have
just
done
thought of
some deep meditation on that
it.
or something. You did some crystal bowls on that action.
I guess so.
I'm trying to think of any other of the Mandela effects that I've come across recently. I guess we went over
uh
The Sally Fields ones, and
no,
well,
I don't.
huh?
No,
Well,
they didn't hear that one. Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah.
So tell them about that one.
Well, I mean, I'd rather them go see cause Moneybags, what's his name? Moneybags something.
Yeah, yeah. Moneybags
He
73 or
yeah, 73. He does a really good job of explaining these things. Uh,
something.
so whoever's watching, go check out his vids. He comes across a new one like every other day, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Do you know what his kind of understanding of the Mandela effect is? What his
What
what
his
he
theory is?
yeah, what he kind of attributes it to?
I know there's one where he does talk about it. You have to go back and look at it. But
Yeah.
I know he does talk about his theory on why this is happening.
Very interesting. I told it to. We were at my parents' place in Kilmarnock, the Northern Neck, this
Hmm.
past weekend, and we had dinner with my parents and my grandmother. It was kind of fun bringing those things up to my grandmother.
Hmm.
Most like that entire generation, the Life cereal commercial is a big one for them.
Hmm.
The whole Mikey thing and Mikey, give it to Mikey, he'll eat anything. And of
Oh,
course, she
I
remembered
don't
it
know.
like that. She remembered it like that Mikey likes everything. That's why
Hmm.
they're giving it to him, because it's some health food. It's supposed to be some healthy Life cereal food, and
Right.
they don't want to eat it, so they want to see if Mikey will. Let's give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Hmm.
She even said that she had friends that she used to tease about that, and she used to like
Oh,
basically call them Mikey because they would eat everything.
what is it now?
Mikey hates everything now.
Oh,
In this reality, he hates everything. Give it to Mikey. He
oh.
hates everything. That's what it
And it
says
used to be
now.
like he. It used to be like, give it to Mikey. He loves everything.
Yeah, give it to Mikey.
It,
He'll eat
you,
anything. That's what
oh,
it used to be.
yeah. See, I think even with that, I think probably the producers or whatever, they thought they were like, okay, which like they were like making a choice between hate or love.
Yeah,
So
could be.
yeah.
Cool, man. You need to. That's good. I was just gonna say you need to make a video on that theory, but we just made it right now.
We just made it, man.
This is it. You should make a
we could
specific video for that.
we
Sure.
could split that up. We could
Yeah.
split that. That's funny.
So,
Uh,
well, I guess that's all we got on the Mandela effect. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty good stuff.
yeah, man, absolutely. I know you said that you wanted to talk about astrology. You messaged me about
Oh yeah, when was that? When did I
that
say?
was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to go through that now?
Yeah, please. I mean, I'm interested in
Well,
general.
so what I had come up with previously, I don't that theory I've kind of thrown away
Okay.
um, after thinking about it some more. But actually today, after watching another astrologer's video, I kind of I sort of had uh, what I think might be a better understanding of what the signs and the planets, like what we're supposed to do with them when we're looking at a chart, what we're supposed to do.
Hmm.
You still there? Oh, your picture just went
Yeah, I'm
away.
still there. What's going on?
Your video, your image just went away.
Oh,
But
I
that's
don't
okay. I
know.
mean,
Yeah, just keep going.
um, so basically, what I thought about was because I'm always trying to like figure out what the signs mean in each house. Like, what does it mean to look at a person who has a Gemini rising, and to have Cancer ruling the second house, and Leo ruling the third house, and Virgo ruling the fourth? Like, what do these things mean? What does having those signs there mean? Does that mean that they're going to be like this? Does that mean that they're supposed to be like this? What does that mean? Nobody really just puts it out there and simplifies it and said, okay,
Mm,
because ultimately we need to be looking at a chart and trying to understand what we can learn from looking at our chart about ourselves, or about
right,
other
exactly.
or about other people. What we can learn, like what we need to be focusing on.
Yes.
And I think we I might be onto something here with, after watching Astrolata, this chick who does Vedic astrology. She's really good actually, and
Yeah, send me the video.
yeah, she's good, and she talks about. this similar kind of thing, but she makes very short videos on it, and it's not the whole theme of her videos, so I don't know how much importance she puts on it. But so what I'm kind of thinking is that each sign, the sign in the house, is essentially what energies you want to be tapping into in order to have a harmonious relationship with whatever that house represents.
A harmonious relationship. Okay.
Yeah, so each house represents a certain thing, right? The first house represents
Right.
like yourself, your body, your personality, um,
Mm-hmm.
kind of your start in life. The second house is like wealth, it's self-worth, it's early
Right.
childhood. You know, they all represent something. Seventh house is like business transactions,
Understood.
it's your
Mhm.
relationships, it's all these kind of things. So the sign that rules whatever house is the energy that you need to tap into in order to uh, uh, not really get those things, but to enjoy those things, like to
Right.
really have a harmonious, positive outcome
Right.
in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
yeah, so like if a person is a Libra rising, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing this through tropical zodiac, by the way. Um,
Okay.
so a person with a Libra rising, and we're looking at that person and what they need to do for relationships. They have
Mm-hmm.
Aries sitting on the seventh house. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the energy that they need to adopt when they are in relationships with other people,
Uh-huh.
which makes a lot of sense. So when they're in relationships with people, they need to be very like headstrong. They need to be very assertive in their own wants. They have to
Yeah.
be very kind of selfish, and they have to try to put the focus on themselves. And this makes
Mm-hmm.
perfect sense because the Libra rising person is a person that naturally gives to other people, is the person that's always compromising for the other people over their wants. So,
Yeah.
so it makes sense if they go into their relationships with Libran energy. Like let's say the person has a Venus is a Libra rising with their Venus sitting in that seventh house. That Venus isn't going to help them out because Venus is all about harmony. It's all about getting along with other people. It's all about building the relationship and compromising. So that wouldn't help them. They need that. What helps the Libra person grow spiritually and grow as a person is to have that Aries energy in relationships so that they don't get stepped on, so they don't get treated kind of like like a doormat, basically.
Right. 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 That
So
makes sense.
yeah, it's 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 a different way of looking at these houses and the energies and the lords that rule them. Because
Right.
for this whole time I'm kind of looking at these charts and wondering really what it means when a person has this planet ruling this. And a lot of astrologers will just do these ridiculously simple interpretations, like, oh, uh, the Gemini rising has they have a Sagittarius on their seventh house, ruling the seventh house, so they're going to be very lucky in relationships. That's what they'll
Right.
say, or they will they'll have a lot of expansion and growth in their relationships. These are like predictions. They don't actually help people to understand what they need to be doing in each aspect of their life.
And that makes more sense. Again, we were talking about doing, like how to take concepts and these you would probably say modalities, how to take these modalities
Hmm.
and use them as a thing that we can focus on and do instead of it being done upon us.
Right.
So I think
Yes,
that's the way
exactly.
a lot of things are done.
Sorry, my son was talking to me. Shivai, I'm
Oh.
busy right now. But I heard what you said, and that's exactly it. That's so much of astrology is not really helpful. So much of
Right.
astrology now is people wanting to look up what they have in their chart and what they are like because of that.
Yeah.
Like they want to look up, oh, sun in seventh. I have the sun in seventh house. Let me see what that means. Sun in seventh house means you are this and this and this and this. And, like that doesn't help any. That doesn't help that person to grow, to really
Right.
like to know what they are. It helps them if we tell them what kind of energies they need to adopt in relationships.
Yeah.
And so basically the planets, so that's what the signs do within your houses. That's the energies that you need to try to align with within each area of your life. Because
Uh.
each area of our life requires a different kind of um, energy. We need to approach each aspect in a different way,
Mhm.
depending on
I
like
see.
depending on who we are as a person, depending on how we are. The different aspects of our life need to be approached differently.
Right.
And so the planets are basically these are like what they are, kind of what we are in this life. So just like how I was saying, it's not helpful to look at what to look at a planet and a sign and what that means. That's not what we want to do for the signs, but we want to. But that's basically what the planets are saying. Like if a person
Right.
has a sun in the first house, this isn't going to describe what the person needs to do. A person having the sun in the first house is showing what the person is like. That's showing what their persona is like, what their body looks like.
Mm.
So the planets do actually, those are kind of like I guess predictive. I mean, the planets, you look at those and you see, okay, Saturn is affecting this person's fourth house. They're going to have a lot of difficulty with their emotions and their
Okay.
inner selves. But we don't look at the signs there and do the same thing. Like let's say it's a Libra rising, just to use that again.
Yeah.
They have Capricorn ruling their fourth house. We don't look at that and say, oh, they have uh, they have difficulty in their emotions. They have difficulty in. We don't do that because that's the energy that that they have to align with for their
Uh-huh.
emotions. That's the energy that they need to start adopting.
Libra
Libra, with
with
their
Capricorn.
emotions, it helps them to adopt a Capricorn like emotional state. And this is because Librans are always worried about other people. They're always worried about what other people want, what other people are doing, and they get very emotionally hurt when other people, take advantage of them, or other
Hmm.
people don't want to be with them.
Hmm.
That really hurts them emotionally. So they need to adapt that Capricorn emotion, where they kind of they detach themselves from the emotion. You
Right.
see?
Yeah, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
So when you say Libra rising,
Uh huh.
and when you say Capricorn in the fourth, what do you mean by that?
So Capricorn rules. That's the sign that rules their fourth house.
Oh, okay. That's the sign that rules Libra's fourth house.
Not not every
No.
Librans.
Okay.
Although, well, with that's another topic where I'm kind of back and forth because I still I'm not confirmed on whether it's whole house astrology or whether we use various house systems.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sold on any of that yet. I can't really concretely say, but what I can say is that when somebody has Capricorn ruling their fourth house,
Uh-huh.
like most Librans do, most people who are
Uh-huh.
Libra ascendant will have Capricorn ruling their fourth.
Uh-huh.
This means that they need to adopt that Capricorn kind of
Energy.
energy for their emotions. You see?
I see. Yeah, I get you.
So,
Cool. I was trying to look for my the astrology the ascendant. I was trying to look for that book. I don't know where it is right now.
mm.
Damn it. I don't know where it is, but I'll find it sooner or later. But yeah, cool. I mean,
So
that's
that,
cool, man.
yeah, I mean that's what I thought
Revelation.
about today, and it makes a lot of sense, and it can really help you kind of understand um, what you need to do. Like everybody feels like they're lacking something, or they want to like do get something in their life. Some people want more money. Some people want relationships. Some people want they're obsessed over career. Everybody wants something else. So if you know what energies you need to be utilizing,
Hmm.
like per your ascendant, then the universe will basically work with you. But like if
Right.
you're approaching, like friend, I'm a Scorpio ascendant. Sagittarius rules my second house. Okay, my second house of monetary wealth,
Right.
those kind of things, finances. So the Scorpio ascendant needs for wealth. They need to become very generous, like Jupiterian qualities. They need to become very generous, very giving to others of their wealth, and they need to have a very faith-based system about their money and about wealth.
I see. I see.
That's how they attract more wealth into their life. That's difficult. See, that's difficult for Scorpios to do. I know it is,
Ah.
being one. It's hard to do. They want to control all of that. And they're also kind of naturally sort of selfish with their things, with their wealth, with the things that they own. They're born naturally kind of selfish with those things. So they get more wealth when they adopt the Sagittarian qualities in regards to wealth and money. You see?
Oh, I see.
Not in regards to everything else, just for wealth and money. Because if they adopt that in another area, it might not be very good.
Right. Right. Right.
Like each area needs to be a specific energy.
I understand. Makes sense. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, send me those videos. I mean, let me send me one of her videos, and then I will investigate myself.
Yeah, dude.
'Cause I'm a Taurus, right? I'm a Taurus.
Well, in sidereal, you're Taurus.
Right.
Uh,
So technically, I would go with Gemini.
yeah.
Okay.
Tropicals Gemini,
Yeah. Okay.
which
I'll
which
check the.
I'm pretty feeling pretty confident with the tropical right now.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah. So like yeah. You need to go right now. You gotta go.
Who me?
Yeah.
Oh no, no, not right
um.
now. Like,
Well, so I was thinking about like yours
I'll
for
tell
like a
you.
Gemini ascendant.
Hmm.
What we like for. I guess for for your wealth for second house, Cancer rules that house,
Hmm.
or it's like your self worth. So you need to adopt maybe like perhaps the more you nurture others, the more you are sensitive to other people, and more nurturing, the more monetary wealth
Well.
you'll get. Perhaps
Okay.
I guess that's the way to look at it. Um,
Okay.
and again, that can be a difficult thing for the Geminis because they don't really have time for that.
Nurturing.
Yeah, for really like sitting down and taking the time. They're ruled by air, by Mercury, and they just want to be on the move all the time.
Hmm.
And it's like just sitting down and getting into the deep depths of somebody's problems. If that's not something that really interests them, they're not gonna really spend the time to do it.
Shit, I feel like I've been doing that all my life.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, your planets are going to, change how you are. Some depending on your planetary placements, that might come very easy for you to be nurturing.
Yeah.
And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, so it depends on those placements, the planetary placements. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think people. I mean, what I've noticed is people like me because I listen, or I'm with them, or I felt like, well, throughout my life, I feel like people will like sit with me and talk to me and stuff because they feel like I'm listening, or they feel like I'm with them, or I get
yeah,
them. That's
true,
what I've noticed.
true. I think you do. And part of the reason I think that is because you have the moon in the 11th house. I believe you have moon in the
Hmm.
11th. Could be wrong on that, but let me see.
Okay.
Which would no, you do. Which which gives you a sensitivity to your friends, which makes you nurture your friends essentially. Because
Yeah.
11th house is the house of friends and friendship and but you know what? Okay, so the interpretation of second house might be a little different actually. It may not be adopting nurturing energies towards other people. It might
Could be.
actually it,
Else.
it could be towards yourself because second house is self-worth. Um,
Yeah.
so it may be actually nurturing yourself.
So okay, well, with that, I have realized that the more time I put in to my craft, my practice, or reading, like
Uh-huh.
by myself, then the more money I do make.
Mm,
So I do, and I've thought about this a lot. Is that the more I invest in myself, like with reading or practicing yoga, like pretty much like fine tuning my craft, then yes, the more money I do make.
yeah.
So I can say that that is very true.
And like relationships ruled by Sagittarius for you.
Uh huh.
So
What
you'll
was that?
basically, in order to have harmonious relationships or to have those partnerships, um, there's got to be a lot of give on your part to other people, and and you also need to have a lot of faith in your relationships. I think, like instead of being nitpicky and all that stuff in relationships, the Gemini will benefit from just coming in with more of a a faith that everything is fine and everything's working out perfectly as it is,
Hmm.
perhaps,
We shall see.
or just like not worrying about relationships, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe like not even not thinking about getting a partner or worrying about having a partner, just having faith that you'll get the right one
Yeah.
at the right time in your life. It's freaking dark in here now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I mean, as you can see, I'm not that great at putting this thing into total practice, but
You're getting somewhere. I see. I see where you're
yeah, I mean,
going
I
with it.
think there's a
Oh,
structure
I
there
like
for it.
where you're going. Yeah, I like where you're going with it.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It just needs a little fine tuning, perhaps.
Yeah, man. I agree.
All right, well, should we close off? Close off the vid?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
43 minutes. That's pretty good, probably.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Bye bye.
Bye now.